When my phone buzzed that night, I thought it was just another false motion alert, the wind rattling the porch light again. But when I opened the live feed, my heart stopped. There she was, Linda Graves, the HOA president, dressed in black, flashlight in her mouth, crouched by my front door trying to pick my lock, and in her hand, a tranquilizer gun. She had no idea my 5 retired canine partners were inside waiting. Before all this madness, I just wanted peace. I'd spent 20 years working with the canine unit, search, rescue, narcotics, you name it. I'd seen enough chaos for a lifetime. So when I retired, I bought a brick house at the edge of Cedar Ridge Estates, a quiet, clean little neighborhood with pine trees and perfect lawns. I brought my 5 partners with me, Rex, Odin, Nova, Shadow, and Scout. All retired German Shepherds. Not pets, family. My plan was simple: morning coffee on the porch, long walks through the trails, a quiet life. For a while, that's exactly what I had. Until Linda moved in. Linda Graves, mid-50s, newly divorced, hair sprayed so hard it could stop a bullet. She wore power suits to mow her lawn and carried a clipboard like it was a badge. You could hear her coming from half a block away, heels clicking, voice sharp and sweet like she'd practiced in front of a mirror. The day she showed up at my door, I thought she was dropping off cookies. Instead, she brought rules. "Mr. Bennett," she said, smiling so tight her teeth could have cracked, "several residents have expressed concern about your dogs. They seem large." "They're retired service dogs," I told her. "Trained quiet and fenced in." "Yes, well, German Shepherds can intimidate people. This is a peaceful community." I smiled back. "Then peace is safe here." Her smile twitched. "I'll be monitoring the situation." And oh, she did. Every damn day after that. Within a week, I got my first violation: excessive animal noise. I appealed 1. 2 weeks later, unapproved fencing color. Then grass exceeding HOA standards. I measured it myself, 2 inches on the dot. Didn't matter. Linda was determined to chip away at me, 1 fine at a time. At first, I laughed it off. You can't reason with people who get high off control. But one morning, I caught her leaning over my fence with her phone out, snapping photos like she was filming a true crime documentary. "Morning, Linda," I called. "Getting a good shot." She jumped, flustered. "I'm documenting violations. Violations like my patients." "You don't need to be rude. I'm protecting the community. From what, clean yards and polite dogs?" Her nostrils flared and she marched off. By the end of that week, I got another violation. Failure to comply with community decorum. I framed it and hung it above my desk. A trophy of nonsense. But it wasn't funny anymore. Linda wasn't just nosy, she was obsessed. Every morning she'd pace the block, muttering to herself, jotting notes. I'd seen people spiral like that before. Her behavior had all the signs: control, paranoia, fixation. Then came the HOA meeting. I went just to see what she'd try next. She stood at the podium, PowerPoint behind her problem properties. Guess who was slide 1? "Certain residents believe they're above the rules," she said. "You can just say my name, Linda," I replied. "Mr. Bennett, please be respectful." "Respect goes both ways," I said, standing. "My dogs are licensed, trained, and contained. You've been on my property without consent. That's trespassing." Gasps. Whispers. Linda stammered, then hissed, "You'll regret this." "Doubt it." After that, it was war. She sent animal control twice. Both times they left smiling after meeting the calmest dogs they'd ever seen. But the rumors kept spreading. Posts online about my dangerous canines. Fake stories about attacks that never happened. She even wrote a long rant on the community Facebook page titled, "The Danger Next Door." I commented once, polite as I could. "They're certified service dogs, Linda. Maybe focus on real problems instead of imaginary barking." The post vanished within the hour. The next morning, a new notice appeared in my mailbox: unauthorized online conduct detrimental to HOA unity. I framed that one too. But things got dark fast. One night, my camera caught her car idling across the street at midnight. Another morning, muddy footprints, women's size 7, leading to my backyard gate. Then I found a strip of raw meat near the tree line. Rex sniffed it but didn't touch it. I took it to the vet. The results came back: traces of tranquilizer, enough to drop a 100-pound dog. That's when my hands started shaking. She wasn't just harassing me anymore, she was trying to hurt them. I brought the report to my old partner, Deputy Harris. "Can't prove it's her without footage," he said. "Then I'll get it." I upgraded everything. Motion sensors, silent alarms, hidden cameras, every inch of that yard was covered. For the first time ever, I locked the dogs inside at night. They didn't like it. They paced restless. But something in my gut told me it was right. Days passed. No sign of her. No more photos, no fake finds. Just silence. That was worse. Then one afternoon I got a letter from the HOA, gold seal and all. Final warning. Remove all canines within 30 days or face legal action. Signed, Linda Graves. I poured myself a bourbon and laughed. "You're not going to win this one, Linda." 2 weeks later it happened. At 2:17 a.m., my phone buzzed. Motion detected front porch. I opened the live feed, and there she was, dressed in black hair, pulled back, flashlight in her mouth, fumbling with my lock. My stomach dropped. "She's actually doing it," I whispered. Rex lifted his head. Then Nova. Then all five. Silent alert waiting for my cue. I called 911. "This is Daniel Bennett at 183 Ridge. The HOA president just broke into my home. She's armed with a tranquilizer gun. I have live footage." "Officers are on their way," the dispatcher said. I kept the camera feed open, heart pounding. Linda slipped inside, whispering to herself, "It's okay, babies. I'm here to save you." She moved down the hallway toward the bedrooms, toward the dogs. Then low growling. One voice, then two, then five. Through the night vision I watched her freeze as 5 dark shapes emerged from the shadows, ears forward, eyes glowing green. They spread out, forming a half circle around her. "Oh, God," she breathed, backing up, flashlight trembling. I came down the stairs calm, almost cold. "Don't worry," I said. "They're trained. They don't attack unless I say so. Unlike you, they know the difference between trespass and threat." "Please," she gasped. "Call them off, they'll kill me." "They're protectors, not killers," I said. "Now open your bag." Her hands shook. "No." I whistled a short, high tone. Instantly the dog's stiffened eyes locked on her. She swallowed hard and unzipped the bag. Out spilled tranquilizer darts, foil-wrapped meat bolt cutters, and a stack of fake reports stamped with my name. "You really came prepared," I said. Tears welled up in her eyes. "I was just trying to help. By breaking into a cop's house with drugs and lies." "That's not help, Linda. That's delusion." Sirens echoed outside. She flinched. "You called them?" "Of course I did. You didn't think I'd let the HOA handle this, did you?" When the deputies arrived, Harris led the way. He glanced at the chaos, the dogs, the bag, Linda trembling in the corner. "Well," he said, "this is new. Add breaking and entering, animal cruelty, and attempted theft," I told him. "And stupidity. Don't forget that." They cuffed her gently. She screamed, "You can't do this." "I'm the HOA president." Rex barked once, like punctuation. I smiled. Not anymore. Neighbors' porch lights flicked on one by one. Phones came out. Someone whispered, "About time." By sunrise, the footage was everywhere. Group chats, Reddit, even YouTube. Title, HOA, President versus the Canine Unit. 3,000 views before breakfast. I didn't post it, but I didn't stop it either. That afternoon, Harris stopped by. "You've got her dead to rights," he said. "Breaking and entering, cruelty, attempted theft. And maybe embezzlement once the audits are done." "Embezzlement?" I asked. He nodded. "Turns out she's been funneling HOA funds into her own account. Fake landscaping projects, bogus consulting fees. Around 80 grand. I just exhaled. So that's what this was about. She thought my cameras caught her. Yup. She broke in to delete the footage. She almost got herself killed over her own guilt, I said quietly. Karma's a better cop than either of us. A week later, the HOA held an emergency meeting. The room was packed. Harold, the vice president, looked pale. "Mr. Bennett," he said, voice shaky, "we'd like to apologize for how things were handled." "Apology accepted," I told him, "but maybe try handling things with accountability next time." Then a neighbor, Denise, stood up with her phone. "I have texts from Linda. She bragged about making his life miserable, called it her project. The room exploded. Story after story poured out, people fined for trash cans left out 5 minutes too long, for mailbox fonts, for imaginary violations. By the end, they voted unanimously to remove her, permanently refund everyone she fined, and start quarterly audits. Harold asked if I'd join the board as an advisor. I laughed. No thanks. I like my sanity. A few weeks later, Harris called again. She confessed to everything. Said she was just trying to restore order. Blamed everyone else, of course. Any remorse, I asked. She cried, he said, but not for the right reasons. The court sentenced her to 2 years probation, restitution to the HOA, and 400 hours of community service at the county animal shelter. The woman who tried to steal my dogs now cleaning kennels for strays. Irony doesn't get sweeter than that. After that, Cedar Ridge changed. The new HOA president smiled. Kids played outside again. People waved. My dogs stopped pacing at night. The silence wasn't tense anymore, it was peaceful. One evening I found an envelope in my mailbox. No return address, just my name. Inside was a handwritten note. Mr. Bennett, I don't expect forgiveness, but I need to say this. I wasn't trying to hurt you. I was trying to fix something broken in me. After my mother died, control was all I had left. The HOA made me feel powerful again. I thought I was protecting the neighborhood, but really I was punishing it. Your dogs didn't attack me that night. They protected you, and maybe me too. I'm sorry. Linda Graves. I read it twice. I didn't feel triumph or pity, just quiet understanding. Some people hide behind authority because it's the only armor they've got. Take it away and all that's left is fear. A few months later, Harris told me she was still working at the shelter. She's calmer, he said. Keeps a notebook. Just dog names and feeding schedules. Therapy's helping. Good, I said. Maybe she finally found something worth controlling. Winter rolled in soft and clean. The HOA used the recovered funds to open a new dog park. They asked me to cut the ribbon. I laughed, but went anyway. Watching families and dogs run free where rules once ruled was strangely beautiful. A few days later, another envelope arrived. No note, just a photo. Linda kneeling beside a rescued German shepherd, smiling softly. On the back, 3 words. Thank you, Daniel. I set it beside a framed picture of Rex in his police vest. Didn't smile, didn't frown, just nodded. Because this story was never really about revenge. It was about redemption. And if there's one thing my years with canines taught me, it's that real guardians don't always wear badges. Sometimes they just wag their tails.